Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
Hi there, I'm Eric Summerer.
So I got good news and bad news, everybody. The good news is my co-host from the Dice Tower podcast, Eric, is here.
Hi, I'm excited to be here.
The bad news is this is the last 5 more great games for now.
I was going to do like 5 of these in a row.
That's not how it works. Well, this is games 196 through 200 on my list. And I know that there's 201 to 350, I think I counted them up on. And folks, I may just blow through those in a live video in the future.
Okay.
Just to show you what's there. But we're getting close to the end of the year. We have new shows and new things planned, so we'll be doing that as time goes by. Whose sound is low? Eric's sound? I'll turn him up.
His sound is quite low,
That's,
it says.
Well, I'm going to assume they're saying...
Could be anybody.
It could be. But folks, this is only the end of this particular show, as if you've watched our channel at all, you know there's always something new around the corner. Also, if you're watching
always another show.
Speaking of which, are there any other shows that you're on, Eric?
Well, I'm on Dice Tower Tonight, which is a bi-weekly evening show here on the channel with Crystal Dax. We always do a fun little discussion. We talk about some games we've been playing, and we play a game with the live audience in every episode. So it's always a good old time if you hang around for the evening hours on Dice Tower Tonight. It's every other Wednesday.
When's the next one?
So it wasn't this week. Not this week. So we will have one not next week because I'll be at the retreat. So we're actually going to do one 2 weeks from Wednesday. Yeah, we had to shift the schedule around a little bit. 2 weeks from Wednesday will be our next episode.
All right, folks. Well, if you're watching this for the first time, I'm just going through 5 games that didn't make my top 100, but I can still consider them to be great games. I have realized as time goes by that the ranking of these games has probably changed even since then. There are games that are in my top 200 that have moved in my top 100. There are games in my top 200 that will have moved out. One of the games today is likely no longer in my top 200, but they're all still good games. The worst any game here would be good. I have to guess which of these Eric has played, which will be easier since I've recorded several hundred shows with him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty simple task for you.
Actually, 2 of the games I don't know if you've played.
You never know.
All right. Well,
are you going to take a stab at like how many I played before we go?
Oh yeah. That's a better question there. You've played 3 of these. Let's see if I'm right.
That is a guess.
Someone said I look tired. I guess we're sorting out the studio here for the Dice Tower retreat. But no worries. Marbles is coming. All right, let's jump in here. And okay. I'm going to move this so you all can see this better. So we're starting with Cubitos. Now this is actually a pretty high ranking here because it's on Board Game Geek at ranked 685 already. That's pretty strong for a game that came out earlier this year, was it?
I want to say 2020, like late 2020?
Well, no, it's a 2021 game. I was early this year. I got a very early copy of this. It didn't come out more in the larger scheme of things till later this year. Eric played. I know Eric played this one because I taught him the game, and then he played it more times. So here you can see some of the piece in this game. So it comes with a bunch of dice. It's a racing game. It's what we might call a bag building game, except there's no bag. It's a dice pool building game where you will spend your dice to buy more dice, and then the different dice allow you to race your person around the track as quickly as possible. I like this game a lot, but it has dropped for me. It would not be where it is now, and I'll tell you why before Eric tells you that he loves it. One reason is that I think a lot of the cards in the game, they could have made... The cards don't feel as... There's too many cards in the game that are wonky. There's not as many straightforward cards. That's one of the small problems with the game I've run into. The other small problem with the game I run into is that when someone is ahead in the race, the dice building thing doesn't matter much anymore. If Eric is far enough in the lead by, I'd say, 2/3 through the race, I cannot catch him. So, what do you think, Eric?
I'm smitten with it. I'm a little earlier in the curve than you are. I've played it only a handful of times, though. After I played it with you in the studio, I immediately ran out and grabbed a copy for myself to play with the kids and the family. So it really pushes all my bag building, deck building buttons. I love the adorable illustrations. And I sort of like the quirky cards, the ones that are a little out there, and the cool combinations you can come up with when you're playing with a particular dinosaur die card or something. So I'm still on the upswing on really enjoying Cubitos.
Yeah, I like the game itself, the basic game. I just wish they had more basic cards, for lack of a better word. But, shimmy, shimmy, dino. Who cares? Also, I still don't know who's on the front of this box. Is it SpongeBob? It feels like it's SpongeBob.
It's a cheese. It's a piece of cheese, not a sponge.
All right, I understand that. But how many people do you think that's SpongeBob?
I think lots of people think it's SpongeBob.
I just don't understand why no one in the process said, that looks like SpongeBob. We should make it look clearly not.
Or they said, that looks like SpongeBob. We should make it look more like SpongeBob.
All right, next game is Magic Maze on Mars. Now, this is the follow-up to Magic Maze, a game that I once saw Eric Summerer get mad in. That's pretty much every game I played with him. But Magic Maze on Mars is a better version of Magic Maze, I think. I like the theme in Magic Maze better. You're a bunch of fantasy people in the mall trying to all shoplift simultaneously. Here, you're just moving these pieces along different routes, but you have to place. You're all placing in real time, and each person can only move along different colored routes. And I really like that aspect of the game. You're building these tiles out there, and maybe only Eric can move on a purple, and maybe I only can move on an orange. So we have to work together without talking. I really like it, and I'm gonna guess, Eric, that you have played this at least once.
Good guess, because as you know, I've played the original, but no, I have not played on Mars. Looking at it, though, I think I'd like to. I think I passed this up when I saw it at a convention and had just played the original and said, I don't know if I need just a variation of it, but this looks adorable. I should give this a whirl.
I think it's better because the other one was north, south, east, west. Here you have different colors, so you can move on the blue, I can move on the orange. And sometimes, especially if you're not playing with a full player count, two people have the same color. So you and I might both have purple. Like you can see in this picture here, that one person is green and blue, and the other person has blue and purple. So either could move it on blue. And then it adds in a bunch of other things too. But only one thing can be at a point at any given time. So you have to move stuff out of the way of other things. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Cool.
All right. In the Hall of the Mtn King, which if you like classical music at all, should immediately put a song in your head.
Edvard Grieg.
Or if you've watched Fantasia, I believe that was one of the songs in the original movie.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's a good song. They use it in a lot of things. This is the game that introduced the world to Game Tray's production. It is a polyomino game to some degree, but what's really cool about the game is this section right here. Now, here's the problem. I don't think Eric's played it, but he might have. I'm going to say yes, but I'm doubtful.
Yes, I have played it.
You probably reviewed it on our show.
No, I have not played this game.
Oh, you just said, yes, I have played it. You lied to me. You got my hopes up.
I was asking if you thought I had. I have not.
Well, you would like this game, and I'll tell you why. Because, you see these trolls? You put these trolls in front of you, and you get the resources on them. But then when you put a troll on top of another troll, you get a trickle-down effect, and you get the trolls that it's on top of. So, and when you put one on a third column, you get everything underneath them again. And
in the pyramid?
Yes, it's really fun.
So like spreading out?
Yes. Okay. And that's,
I like it.
So as you draft these trolls from a line, you're trying to think, okay, I'm going to get this multiple times. So I need to think, where am I going to put it? Like the ones in the middle are going to happen more often. And the ones on the outside will happen only a couple times. It's really a good game. And then you mix that, you're getting resources so that you can build polyomino tunnels. You're building tunnels in this underneath the ground here. And you can put a bunch of tunnels together so that you can put rooms on the board, which are worth points. Or you're trying to get to these statues, which are worth points. It's a really solid game that was really hot for a brief moment. This game came out right before the pandemic. In fact, I'm claiming that In the Hall of the Mtn King caused the pandemic.
Sure.
It didn't, but it got burned by that because I think this would have been one of the most popular games. Although it is ranked 554, that's really high.
It's still doing all right. But no, just looking at the cover, that's not the sort of game I would think this was. I was expecting, a dungeon delve sort of game.
Yeah, no. It's better than that.
Okay.
Alrighty. The next game on our list is Eldritch Horror. And for the life of me, I can't remember if you were in that game. I'm just going to say yes, you were. Eric, you've played this.
I have not played this game. I haven't played any of the horror games. The closest I've come is Elder Sign.
Okay. So I didn't invite you at that Gen Con. Or I did invite you and you didn't want to come in it.
I remember distinctly that you were invited to some very special preview game, and I was not allowed to know anything about it. So I went my own way. Probably got lost on the street somewhere. It's fine.
I feel like that's a lie, and I don't think you would like this game anyway. I thought you liked Elder Signs, though.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Elder Sign.
Well, then what? Okay, so this is Cthulhu to the core here, folks.
Yeah.
Eldritch Horror is the sequel to Arkham Horror, except it's more world gallivanting. This one was very high on my list. It's dropped down a bit because it's just so much of a game. There's only so much I can handle flipping cards, reading texts, and remembering all the many different rules. It's a good game. I just don't know the next time I'll get this to the table. So I enjoyed it a lot, though, so it's still on the list for that. And if you're going to do Cthulhu, I want Cthulhu that's around the world and has me going on adventures rather than being stuck in a creepy town of Arkham.
Do you like this better than Mansions of Madness? I'm assuming Mansions is higher on your ranking.
Because Mansions of Madness brings such a vibe to the table. Like, you're like, oh, there's sound effects from the app. There's the dynamic of the app. This is more of a broader scope. All right, and then finally, Francis Drake. I give up. At this point, I've gotten so much wrong, but I can't switch to no now. So I'm going to say, yes, you've played this.
I have played Francis Drake, but it has been a while. Played this at a Board Game Geek Con. That was the most recent play for me. And it was several years ago. So I'm still a little foggy on the rules. I do know that the action track is the real core of this game, where you can place your discs to select actions along this path. But once you've gone too far, you can't go back. But that's very similar to a game called, that I'm totally blanking on, that Stronghold recently republished, Agizia. And I think that came first. And so as soon as I played this, I'm like, this is Agizia. And Agizia plays fast.
I think Tutankhamun came before both of those from Reiner Knizia. Technically, he did it first.
That's fine.
Well, in this game, you are moving along this track. If you're looking at the picture here, folks, you're moving along this track at the top. You can move as far as you want, but you can never go back. And you're picking up supplies and stuff for the second half of the game, which is the bottom, where you send your ships out and pillage and plunder and attack each other. I really like this, but it's also been quite a bit since I played it.
It made a huge splash, I think, when it first hit, but it's just, I don't know how often it's been hitting people's tables in the last 3-4 years.
I liked it enough that I was going to put it in Dice Tower Essentials, and that didn't work out for logistical reasons. But yeah, well, then again, remember, everyone, once a game's out of the site for, a year, it's gone already. This is one that's worth playing. And honestly, the games that Eric hasn't, I won't say Eldritch Horror, but In the Hall of the Mountain King and Magic Maze are both in the Dice Tower Library, and you can play them at the Dice Tower Retreat, which Eric will be at. That's a week from today.
Next week. Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
I got to say, folks, it's probably too late if we were inviting you to Dice Tower Retreat, but you still could come. I think I've just about 10 are left. Some tickets opened up. So if you're in the Orlando area for some other reason you want to come, let us know. Otherwise, we'll tell you about it afterwards. And of course, there's lots of content going up on the Dice Tower this week. And in fact, in 45 minutes, you're going to see Shoots and Marbles, the greatest marble racing thing on Board Game Channel in the world.
So my little brother stumbled upon an episode of Shoots and Marbles, and he started texting me, like, what is up with the marbles? And I'm like, I have no idea.
Okay, see, that's rude. You ruined that. I could have had a convert. I could have had a good summerer.
What? A good summerer?
I didn't say you weren't a good one. I said I was getting a good one.
I think that's pretty much what you still said.
I implied it. But you're not sure if I meant it.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty sure.
All right, folks. We'll see you there in 45 minutes. Eric, if people want to see more of you or hear more of you, you've already told everyone. We're going to do the show backwards. Dice Tower tonight, which we don't know when the next one's going to be.
We do. It's 1 week from this Wednesday. So 1 week from tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific
Wait, so you're doing it from the retreat?
No, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Isn't that what I said? 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we're skipping the week of the retreat and then doubling up.
All right. And then also, of course, our podcast of one which just got posted today.
Yes. Our episode of games that we should have played but haven't.
Which none of these were. It would have been hilarious had there been a crossover, but that did not.
That would have been fun. Yes.
Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks for watching 5 more great games. Thanks for watching this series. Like I said, we'll have other series and other things coming up soon. I'll do games 201 to 300 something in a live video at some point in the future. So until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Eric Summerer.
And you've been watching 5 more great games on the Dice Tower.